Welcome to Inside Shakeology, your destination for Shakeology news, updates, and information. I'm Sandy Buadana from Team Beachbody.
And I am Darin Olien, the formulator and co-creator of Shakeology, and we're here to answer a bunch of your questions.
Today on our podcast, we have Autumn Calabrese, creator of 21 Day Fix, 21 Day Fix Extreme, Masters Hammer and Chisel, the fabulous cookbook Fixate, as well as her newest product, Country Heat. Hello, Autumn.
Hello.
Hey, Autumn.
Thank
Wow,
you for
you're
having
busy.
me. Little bit.
Today, we're going to be talking about Shakeology and exercise, how to best achieve your goals. So here's the question that comes up all the time. Good nutrition and exercise. Do we really need both to see the results?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's such a funny question.
Seems like a no-brainer question, but I do think people get a little bit confused on it. But yeah, you absolutely have to have the nutrition component. In fact, the nutrition component is 85% of it. You really can't out-train a bad diet, and I'm the trainer telling you that. So, that technically puts me out of business.
Exactly.
But absolutely, you have to have a really good diet. And I was saying this to some people I was talking to the other day. They were asking me about Shakeology and do I drink it? And I was saying, I love it. I use it sometimes when I'm running out the door or sometimes right after a workout. But it's such a great tool for people. Like if somebody's doing the 21 Day Fix, you should have a well-rounded diet from following the program because we give you the food list. But a lot of people are really picky eaters. So they're picking a vegetable off the green list, but they're picking one vegetable. And that's the same one that they keep eating over and over again. Or same thing, they're picking one fruit and they keep eating it over and over. So they're missing an array of vitamins and minerals and just all these other beneficial things that you get from Shakeology, from this one drink, this dense superfood nutrition. So
mix it up.
Mix it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important because you're talking about the fuel that fires your entire body up. And then if you're kind of from a macro view, just kind of working it into submission, right, and working out too much, and you don't have the proper cellular nutrition and whole food, then you're just not going to get a lot of great results. And you still see that people have that mentality of kind of calories in, calories out, and it's I've burned 1,000 calories and all of this kind of thing when it's a lot more complicated,
So
but
much
also
more.
a lot more simple, right?
So what about energy with Shakeology and exercise?
I look at exercise as fun, but also this engine that we move it, and it also activates other things. It activates the brain, it activates digestion. So that in kind of collaboration with nutrition, and certainly really dense nutrition, man, that's it.
You made such an awesome point about energy because you're asking
Yeah.
about energy. And
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a visual. So if you're thinking about a car, right? If you leave your car sitting in the driveway for months and months and months without it taking it even for just a little drive around the block, the car's just not going to start anymore. It's not going to run as well. Also, if you put low-grade fuel in your really fancy race car, your really fancy race car is only going to do so much. But if you put high octane fuel in your really fancy race car, it's going to do a lot better. And so I think people, they don't always look at their nutrition as fuel. And that's what it is. We look at it as so many other things, celebratory, and I'm in a bad mood, I had a bad day, or this or that. But
Exactly.
we never stop to look at it for its true purpose, which is to fuel your body and keep it running at optimum levels. And I love all the things that Shakeology does to enhance all of that.
I use Shakeology kind of depending on the day, like you said, in the morning or after the workout or midday. But it's really, again, I'm going to go back to that, the thousands of natural compounds in these, and vitamins and minerals and all these nutrients that are in all of these foods that you're consuming. You're really satisfying a very deep level of craving. Whereas if you're eating kind of, poor quality food, you can get full, but that full sensation is a volume thing. So after you eat a certain volume of food, it shuts off your need for more food. Whereas if you're eating better and drinking something like Shakeology, then you're actually getting cellularly satisfied, and then your body is able to kind of shut that off, and you don't have to eat so much because your body's looking. It's
Right.
looking for nutrients, right?
That is so important because we've stopped listening to our bodies.
Big time.
That's so important. I'll use Shakeology to curb my craving when I'm craving something sweet. I can use fruit. I can use, but like for chocolate especially, like I love the vegan chocolate recipe. But if you really stop and listen to your body and don't just do this without thinking about what you're putting in, it'll tell you what it needs. And you'll start craving those healthier things. Like there are times, like you said, 3:00 where I'm like, I'm not craving a donut, but I will be craving my Shakeology. I'm like, oh, it's time for vegan chocolate and peanut butter and a banana. Like I get really excited about that. But I'm like, no, it's not time for a donut.
Right.
So when you train your body and you get rid of all that processed gunk, you'll start craving the healthier things, and that will be able to curb the sweet tooth that you're having.
Totally know what you mean.
So we know good nutrition and exercise is important to get great results. So talk a little bit about how you prepare your meals at home to get those best results.
Autumn's the master of preparation, I think.
I do love meal prep. The short and sweet of it is basically on Sundays I grocery shop. I get probably 4 or 5 different veggies, 3 to 4 different fruits, usually 2 different proteins, maybe 3, and one of them will stay in the freezer. What I do is I go home and I cook on Sundays. So like I'll cook those 2 proteins off. I don't cut up my fruit. I don't cut up my vegetables. The second you cut into them, you start to lose the nutrients in them.
Right.
So I like to keep things just fresh in the refrigerator, but I do like to prep my proteins because those take a little bit longer.
Yeah, so you pre-cook.
I pre-cook those, and then I don't do the whole like prep it out 4 days in advance. I don't know what I'm going to want for dinner, let alone what I'm going to want for breakfast on Friday on a Monday.
Exactly.
So you just prepare it in the fridge so it's ready to cut up.
I make sure the proteins are ready to go, and then I just make sure I have the ingredients on hand. I have fruit, I have vegetables, I have
the general
carbs,
stuff that you're going
that I'm going to need to make meals.
So you shop for a week or you shop for like 3 days?
Shop for about 3 or 4 days, because after that it'll start to decay.
Okay. Yeah. And what about you? You grow it all in your backyard.
Come over. I'm trying to set up my garden.
Exactly. Some of it for sure, as much as possible. But for me, because of the crazy schedule, I definitely don't have a day that I do anything. But it's every 3 or 4 days. But it mostly comes into like a day prep. Like, if I have the food already, then I will definitely be aware and understand what I'm doing for that day. So, okay, if I'm going to be gone all day, I'm preparing every meal. And often I prepare more than I think, because I don't ever like to get stuck being hungry, ever, right? So after 25 years of living in this world, it's just automatic.
It's automatic. And what about putting things in the freezer? Like, do you put stuff there like fruit to
frozen
get
fruit?
You ready?
Yeah, I mean, I have like probably a Y2K amount of frozen organic fruit in there, because
you got a big freezer.
Yeah. Okay. So, but then it always wins out, like in this season, to get fresh anyway. But I like to know that it's there for sure.
I think people get caught up on healthy eating is expensive.
Yeah.
Because they're either lazy or they don't know how to meal prep. And so they think, okay, well, if I'm going to eat healthy, I'm just going to go buy it already made. And that would get really expensive. But you can prep meals for everybody in the house at a lot less expensive price.
I mean, I love a salad under 5 minutes. Like I do. Like, you know what I mean? If you have all of the stuff.
Yes.
And you have your condiments you've made, like your dressing or whatever, that for me, a lunch and I'm busy, like throw it in there, literally sub 4 minutes. I'm
quick and easy
eating that salad.
Yep.
So here's a question we get a lot. What do each of you do on those rare occasions when you just literally cannot work out? And I know that's odd for both of you, but come on, you're on planes a lot. So Autumn, you want to take it first?
Sure. Well, it is rare because if it's important, you make it a priority. And so I do. Like, regardless of how busy I am, I will get up early, even if that means 4:00 in the morning, and get it done. But on those rare occasions, look, if I have a rare occasion where I can't work out, I don't worry about it. Like, that's just my day off. Your body needs a rest day as well. Right. But if you were looking for something to do, if you were like, I really need to move my body today, and I've just got too much going on. You know what? Park further away at the grocery store so you have to walk a little further. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Do some squats while you're putting your makeup on or blow drying your hair or whatever. Go for a walk when you get home after work. There's always something you can do. Get down and do some sit-ups before you go to bed at night. Like, you can move your body a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Get up and move.
You, my dear,
Yeah,
the surfer.
I'm kind of with Autumn on this one in the sense that when I literally can't, like if I'm on a 7 a.m. flight, I'm literally working out. I went to bed at 6:30 and I'm up at 2, and you just make it happen.
So it's still planning ahead.
What I've noticed people do is on the days they work out, they're more likely to eat healthy. And on the days they miss their workout, believe it or not, those are the days where they're like, eat like crap. And you're
That's
like, but
crazy.
how much sense does that make?
Okay.
None. So like, if you are gonna miss a workout, that's the day to be more on point on your
Okay.
nutrition. Like, that's not the day to be like, hey, I'm gonna miss my workout, and by the way, it's gonna be my cheat day. I'm gonna go eat a pizza.
Yeah.
Like, so
Good
stay
point.
on point, get your Shakeology, and drink more water that day. Fruits and veggies and lean proteins.
So we hear a lot of great stories about success stories about Shakeology from our customers. Do you have a great success story with Shakeology in your experience?
I don't call it necessarily like a great success, but it's been a great addition to my life and my nutrition. Like ever since I've been introduced to it and been able to have it. I'm not a big supplement person. Like people used to ask me all the time because I competed, like, well, what's your stack? What supplements do you take? And I was like, yeah, I don't. Like I did a protein shake and that was it because I don't believe in all the processed supplements that are out there. Then when I got introduced to Shakeology and I was able to see what exactly were the ingredients and that sort of thing, I was like, oh, this is really great. Instead of even the protein shake, the brand that I was using, I was able to put that in and feel even better about what I was getting because I was no longer just getting protein. I was getting so much more from it. So for me, it's just been a really great addition to the healthy lifestyle I already live.
Okay,
Perfect.
great. And what about you?
Shakeology, just because I intimately know these ingredients, this is bloody convenient for me, especially with a busy, busy life and traveling. It's just, I literally smile every time when I'm in a bind and I can look at that little Shakeology pack and go, hey man, I got some decent water at the airport and I can throw this in. I'm good,
Well, that was fun. Thank you, Autumn, for joining us on this episode of Inside Shakeology.
Thank you, Autumn.
Yes, thank you guys for having me. My pleasure.
And for other Shakeology topics, check out Inside Shakeology, the audio version on iTunes.
And for all things Shakeology, make sure you subscribe to the Shakeology YouTube channel. And if you have any questions that you want us to cover next time, just send an email to shakeologypanel@beachbody.com. Thanks, you guys.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so fun.
Bye.